that Canada is like a puzzle. Each citizen represents one piece of this completed picture. By itself, a puzzle piece may seem small and insignificant. Yet, together with the other pieces, it begins to make up something far greater that has a much bigger purpose. Nellie McClung was one such citizen. She was a great example of someone who made her piece valuable and used it to impact Canada. Nellie McClung was born on October 20th, 1873, in Ontario, close to Chatsworth. Her family moved to rural Manitoba about 3 years later, where she lived on a homestead. Nellie began attending school at the age of 10. Nellie McClung was very smart, and by the time she was just 16 years old, she was teaching 8th grades in a one-room schoolhouse. She got married to Robert Wesley McClung, her love, while teaching in Manitou in 1892. After she got married, she gave up teaching. Today, women all over the country vote in elections. Without Nellie McClung, this may not have been our reality. In 1911, she moved with her family to Winnipeg, where she became a suffragist. McClung and the other suffragists living in Winnipeg at the time confronted Mr. Sir Rodman Roblin, the Premier of Manitoba, about women being allowed to vote, but he didn't take them seriously. Nellie and the others didn't give up though, and in 1914 they held a mock parliament, furthering their point of why women should be allowed to vote. Because of Nellie McClung's continuous work efforts, Manitoba became the first province to let women vote in 1916. Nellie McClung and her family moved to Alberta in 1914. In 1928, Nellie McClung joined with 4 other women to work on the Persons case. All of them wanted women to be recognized as a person, and they are now called the Famous Five. This group created a petition on behalf of Canadian women, and they sent it to the Supreme Court of Canada. But this first petition failed. But the Famous Five didn't give up, and they went to the Privy Council of England with their request. And finally, after all their hard work, on October 18, 1929, the Privy Council of England announced the following: the exclusion of women from all public offices is a relic of days more barbarous than ours. And to those who ask why the word person should include females, the obvious answer is, why should it not? The law changed in Canada, and women were declared to be a person, and they could, for the first time, run to be members of Senate in Canada. This victory was huge. On July 18, 1929, she was elected to the Alberta legislature as a part of the Liberal Party. She was the 3rd woman to serve in the Canadian provincial government. Nellie McClung once said, "Women are going to form a chain, a greater sisterhood than the world has ever known." Whether she was creating petitions on behalf of Canadian women or running to be a part of Parliament to initiate change, her continuous efforts helped women to form this strong chain. Nellie McClung used her piece to impact Canada in a very significant way. But the real question is, what will you do with your piece to impact our country today? Vote in the 2016 Manitoba provincial election.